removal, you have, I mean, almost anything that you can have cosmetically on your face or body, I mean, a laser can take care of it. So if you need laser hair removal, spider veins, if you have red cheeks, brown spots on your face, sun damage, all the way to full out CO2 laser resurfacing. So you can take a woman that has wrinkles or saggy skin and you can take off her face, essentially. You can restructure it to where you can laser off the top surface, you can tighten different areas, you can do eyelid tightening with it. You can really get in depth with some of these lasers when you learn, their advanced properties and you know how to use them safely and properly. We get amazing results with those. So
do you get primarily women, or do you get a mix of like both men and women?
It's more men now than we used to see. I think men are just becoming more comfortable saying, hey, I just need something done.
Yeah.
Before it was like, no, I don't have anything. And now they're like talking about how many units of Botox they have in their forehead. So it's not right now, it's still about a 15% men, but it was even way less than that 4 years ago.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
But yeah, mostly women, and we service them in every walk of life. I mean, from hair removal, that's a lot of the younger crowd, to doing photofacials to where it gets rid of like the sun damage, tightens the skin. That can be somewhere mid-range. And then when they get older and haven't done anything, that's when we work on, laxity of the skin, wrinkles, collagen production, elastin production, and that's all done through lasers. So
really?
Yeah, it's like a thermal biostimulator is what they call it.
Now, is that something you have to go in like on the regular, like once a week, once a month, like somebody is doing that? Or is that like a one-time thing?
Usually there's always maintenance involved. What I do in consultations is I take people through and say, you're in corrective phase or you're in a maintenance phase. And so if you come to me, typically you're in corrective, either something you want to fix. And so we work on that first. And I say, okay, well, we're gonna diminish these lines, the scowl lines, we're gonna tighten the eyelids, we're gonna get rid of the redness, we're gonna reduce this, that, build collagen. That's face, neck, chest. A lot of people neglect their chest just because, they put sunscreen on their face, but nothing on the chest. So we work on the chest. Maybe we'll even do some hair removal, whatever it is we have to do. And then we get them out of corrective phase into maintenance. So if we can get you into maintenance, that's where your question comes in, is that, yeah, depending on what it is, typically you're doing less harsh treatments. You're out of like the aggressive lasers and you're into more of kind of the fun stuff. So you can get, hydrofacials, microneedling, things that are just, they're less expensive, obviously, than that. You can get them, once every 2-3 months, every 6 months. Just really depends on lifestyle and what you want. But once you stop doing something, we equate it to going to the dentist and getting your teeth clean and shiny and then never brushing your teeth. And so, we do a lot of at-home care. We're pretty typically always the number one sales and for our vendors when it comes to skincare products.
Wow.
We have all kinds of awards. I don't even know where they're at, but it's more so about giving the client the right product. And if they can continuously use that at home, that keeps them from having to do other aggressive treatments down the road. But we need to get them from corrective into maintenance first.
So how does someone know, like, if they need to go someplace to your place to get their face fixed, basically? You know what I mean? Like, is it just a personal feeling like, oh, I don't like how my face looks, or is there seriously like something wrong?
Usually it's just I don't like something, which it's kind of staggering to me. A lot of women will come in, I'll do a consultation and they come to me and say, oh, I've just got this one little brown spot, or everyone thinks they have to go to a dermatologist or a doctor for something. And if there's anything suspicious, yes, absolutely go see a dermatologist. That's where they're going to find out if it's something that needs to be biopsied. But when it comes to cosmetically, I point things out all the time. I never used to because I thought it was somewhat offensive, but I just ask permission. Hey, can I be blunt with you and tell you I see? And they may come in for one little, brown spot, but I put them through this Vizia skin analysis machine. It'll scan their face. We'll put them in the computer. We'll be able to zoom in on everything, look underneath the skin, really get a full spectrum of all of it. And it tells me the age of your skin also. So you might be 40, but your skin might be 50. And so our goal is then to take that, find out why it's 50 years old and fix that problem. And so a lot of women come in for that one brown spot, and I can point out and say, well, what about this or this or this? And I hear most of the time, oh, I didn't know I could do anything about that. I didn't know I could fix that. I didn't know that could go away. I just thought I had to live with it for the rest of my life, because they do go to derms, and not all of them, and they don't want to do anything cosmetic. And so they just say, oh, that's something you have to live with. And so when they come to me, they're just surprised to say, oh, you can do that. I actually had a client earlier today with the same exact thing. I did her permanent eyebrows. And then as we were doing the eyebrows, I was kind of talking about some other thing. Hey, does that bother you? And she said, yeah, but whatever, I can't do anything about it. And I said, well, yeah, I can do it right now, actually, if you want me to. And so she was so excited. And so we got rid of a bunch of, charyngioma, these little red dots. We got rid of some sun damage, a couple of small keratomas, little moles. Mm-hmm. And so she looked like she got stung by bees, but in a couple of days, she won't have any of those imperfections on her face anymore. And she had no idea that she could ever even get rid of those.
Wait, you can get rid of moles?
Yeah.
So like this thing I got in my head, like
that's that over there?
Yeah, you can get rid of that?
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's something that's been checked by a dermatologist.
Oh
Moles
yeah.
moles have to be checked to make sure
Yeah, I go every year and they're like, oh no, it's fine.
it's all good. Yeah, if it's benign, something like that, then yeah, cosmetically I can get rid of it. And if you get it done, and again, I'm not saying anything bad about derms, but if you get it done there, they're not caring so much what it looks like after.
Yeah.
They just want to get rid of the thing.
Yeah.
And that's just what they do. So they cut, they want to cut. It's what it is. So what I'm going to do is do it in stages if I think I need to, all at once if I have to. It just depends. But I want at the end of the day for it to look cosmetically like it was never there. And so, yeah, we can get rid of all of those little imperfections.
So, like, I'm curious, like, since this is elective, it's not really like an insurance thing, right? So, like, what is somebody looking at out of pocket? Like, let's say for me, like, say I got this mole thing, it's been like bugging me my entire life. You know what I mean? Like, what is somebody looking to pay for, you know?
So ballpark in that, it depends on what kind of tool I have to use or device, but typically for something like that, you're going to be running between 70 and $20.
Really?
Yeah, somewhere in that range. So insurance almost doesn't come into play even when that happens.
Yeah.
And if it's just the one, we at our place, some places charge by per mole, per skin tag, per, cherry, meningioma, whatever. I just charge per time. So if it's going to take me 15 minutes, I charge for every 15 minutes. And so if you come to me, I can probably get 12 things off your face in 15 minutes, or your underarms, or your wherever you got skin tags, or
Wow.
any of it. And so I have all the tools. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to take care of all of it. And that doesn't change the price. It's just what it is for the 15 minutes. So
Interesting. So what would you do, like, for something like this? What would you do? How long would it take, and does it hurt?
So for that, first thing I'm going to do is assess it. We're going to blanch it. I'm going to kind of press on it, see if it's vascular, if there's a lot of blood flow to it, or whether it's just pigmentation. It might just be basic benign mole. At that point, then I'm going to assess if it's vascular. I'm going to get real technical, but if it's something vascular, I'll grab a YAG, neodymium YAG laser 1064. I'm going to grab, or if it's just pigment, I'm going to grab a 755 or maybe an IPL photofacial device. Could even be plasma or high frequency. There's a lot of tools I have. It's just been what's going to be the best thing that at the end of the day will cosmetically look better, like it was never there in the first place. So out of any of those tools, I have to first assess it, say what's going to be the best path forward. And then from there, when you say, does it hurt? I guess one, it depends on your pain tolerance. Usually everything's just a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
If it's something I know that's going to take me longer than 2 or 3 seconds to work on, then we'll just do a lidocaine injection. We'll numb it up. We can even just do something topically. If you're more anxious, we do laughing gas Pronox as well. So that's going to help with the anxiety. You'll still feel the pain. You just do not care at all. It's great stuff. For these though, what I usually walk people through is this is going to take me 3 seconds. So what you're talking about would take me about 3 seconds to get rid of.
Really?
And so if you can just take a breath, hit it real quick, we don't have to do any of those other things, and it's gone. So yeah.
Like, do you cut it or use laser? Like,
mostly with those, we would use laser. We would use some kind of a thermal burning method. If it's a skin tag, we'll usually cauterize at the same time with either high frequency or plasma. But no, never really incisions or cutting or pulling anything out or having to sew anything or stitch anything back up.
And it doesn't leave like a scar, or like there's not like
there's potential for it, but the way we work it, again, there's no suturing or actual physical cutting of anything. Typically, no, it won't. You have maybe a 1 or 2% chance of it leaving not a scar, but what's called hypopigmentation, which means that the opposite of a brown spot, you'll actually have less pigment in that area, so it'll look a little white. Typically, also that's temporary. So that can be as soon as you get some sun, as soon as you get some pigmentation back in the area, you probably couldn't even find where it was.
But it'd be flat. Like I wouldn't, because every shaving your head, like I've nicked this quite a few times, and it sucks. I have to and it bleeds, and it's just not having to deal with that. That would be, man, that's crazy.
Well, this is the same reaction. What I just said, the exact same reaction that I get from most people.
Wow.
Is that once I tell them what we're able to do, one, they didn't even know it was in the universe that could be done. And then two, when I tell them it's a simple procedure, I guess you could call it a procedure. It's so quick, it's so easy. You might have a little scab there for a week until it falls off. Then they're mostly like, man, I should have had this done years ago. So
yeah, that's interesting, because I go to a dermatologist every year, and like they look at it and they're just kind of like, oh yeah, that's just there. And I'm like, okay, well, they're like, it's not cancer, so just leave it. I'm like, okay, and it for me, it's not a cosmetic thing. It's more of like, it's just a pain in the butt to like shave my head, and it's like annoying. Interesting. I guess a half cosmetic, but I just grown to
Yeah,
get
again,
used to.
as long as it's getting checked, and that's what we make sure of. I've had at least over a dozen clients in the last 6, 7 years that'll come to me and they're like, oh, I got this sun damage. Can you get rid of it? And they've been going other places and getting photofacials over the
Hmm.
years, but that one just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
And then they keep going and they keep getting these laser treatments. But I look at them and I say, you need to go get that checked. And they've never been told that before. It's just like,
Wow.
oh, the laser will get rid of it temporarily. I said, well, you need to go get that checked.
Yeah.
I can't touch it. It looks very suspicious to me. I won't work on anything suspicious until you give me the go ahead from a dermatologist.
Okay.
And I've had at least a dozen clients in the last 6, 7 years that have gone and they're like, yeah, it's cancer. And so, I mean, even my aunt was one of them where about 5 years ago or so, she had one right on the tip of her nose
Hmm.
and didn't know what it was, cleared up her cheeks, everything else. And I was like, that one looks weird to me. And then she went, ended up being basal cell. And so she had to get radiation just isolated to her nose. But
Wow.
it was something, yeah, she never would have caught it. So
Yeah.